Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Aviary Attorney. This is indeed the final episode of Aviary Attorney. They just updated the game actually the night before, and I was debating whether or not I would do one more final long play of it, but I told you guys I was going to be playing Undertale, and I wanted to make sure I didn't disappoint you. So I don't know if this is actually going to be a short video, but I'm releasing it with sound to drop since I just finished Mika Apoptosis. I felt like it was the best place to kind of fit it in, so I'm sorry for those of you who are watching the short videos and haven't been following Aviary Attorney. I hope it's okay, but this is the ending for C. This is the ending that I was originally going to get on my previous, or my initial playthrough of the game, where you fail to prove Kokoriko's innocence. I didn't have enough evidence, but you fail to prove it and you're forced to join the rebels. Now, when I played this last time, it told me that a ending was being made and that wasn't ready yet. There's been a lot of kind of back and forth about whether the developers should have made the game or released the game, before the final ending was done. I don't know how you look at it. I'm not going to go into like the politics of it. I've enjoyed the game so far, and I just want to see what this game has to offer so that we can see all three endings and enjoy the game now that it is 100% complete. Alright, so what do we have to do for the rebels? You can come out now, brother. How did it go? Better than we ever hoped for. The rooster is dead, and the madame has tasted her first blood. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A meddlesome falcon tried to disrupt the execution. Falcon? Really? A tenuous wretch. Don't worry, he floundered and bumbled around hopelessly. You're welcome, that was me. The madame thinks he's of some use, but really, he's as good as dead. This is marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time at all. To reason, brother. To reason. Fraternité. Okay. Hey guys. This is awkward. I hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madame. I know that the rooster was your friend, but the madame does what she does for the good of France. Boy, oh boy. This is awkward. It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say? I mean no disrespect, Fontaine, but I'm not thirsty. Me neither. I get it. You're both a little shaken by what you saw. Can we at least get you some wine? Just a small glass to calm the nerves. Fine. Whatever. Very good. Piero, fetch our guests some drinks. It's your round. My round? No way, it's your turn. Turns don't matter. You still owe me for that omelet I generously paid for last Friday. Yeah, well, you owe me for that coffee on Tuesday. Okay, so that's 30 cents coffee deducted from a 60-cent omelet, plus 25-cent peanuts you swiped from my pantry. Hold up. I ain't so good at male arithmetic. Listen up, Sparrowson. You need to go. Go? Yes. I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. Is that such a good idea? If we both stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub that lioness the wrong way. If we both run, these two will probably shoot us in the backs. So the way I see it, one of us running is the most viable option. Falcon! Don't argue. Once you're out, find Valerity and tell him what you've seen. Okay. So it's agreed. You get this round and I'll owe you 2 cents. Yep. And I'll hold you to him 2 cents. Be right back. Don't you two move or nothing. He'll hold me to 2 cents? Piero's such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time. Fontaine, do you want to play some cards while we wait? Some cards? Well, I'm no gambler, but sure we can have a quick round or something. Great. Have you ever heard of Jack Noir? Jack Noir? No, but the name sounds dubious. It's fine, I assure you. Deal me in, and I'll demonstrate. So while we're doing this, Sparrow said you better freaking run, dude. Go for 21. Yep, okay. 7. Ooh, 17, that's good. Yeah, 17's pretty good. Seriously? And he's gone. So, what do you think? I think he just took the rules of blackjack and slapped them awkwardly onto a tarot deck. It's a terrible game. Oh, well, how about we play some poker instead? Poker? If that's just poker with tarot cards, I swear to God. Alright, I bought drinks. One for me, one for you, and one for... Hey, where's the little one? The little one? He's right. Oh, Merd, I lost him. You lost him? How'd you lose him? I was gone for 2 minutes. I think I dropped the ball on this one. Well, you can pick it up, you're a dog. I'm sure you love that kind of thing. I'll say, the madame's gonna string us up for sure. Actually, we should make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this. You can't let me find out about what? Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here weren't paying attention and let Sparrowson walk away casually. Madame. We can explain. I swear, I give you two bozos one job. It doesn't matter. That little bird was dispensable for our plans, but Falcon isn't. What's important is that he's still here. Madame, if Sparrowson runs to the police, then both this location and the Sleeping City are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we're planning a form of protest, an enormous protest on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Palace de Concorde, and then we shall march across the Tuileries Garden. A march across the Tuileries? You intend to storm the Louvre? No, the Palais Royal. That's where the King and Prime Minister will be residing. I'd like for it to go peacefully, but peaceful uprisings have a bad habit of turning violent, don't they? Exactly. And we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want me to prosecute? The King of France. The King and the Prime Minister. They're both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of those overpaid bourgeois onto the street, and you shall prosecute them then and there. I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. It could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There is no alternative. The wheels of the revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what do we do with you until then? You can leave it with us, ma'am. We'll keep a good eye on him. After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird? I think not. I'll just have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend this week at my side while I complete your preparations. At your side? All day and night? Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute. That seems excessive. You can trust me, madame. No, I can't. You've promised to help me, but I know that you didn't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you 1 grain of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon. So she's with us investigating, I guess. Ooh, what's this? And then, while we were sitting at the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created the distraction, and I sneaked away and went straight to the police. Then you called a meeting, and, well, here I am. So, yeah, that's the whole story. Let's see. So Severin Cocorico died at the hands of the rebels. That's right. And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor. Traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he can save his own life. Don't be so naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see you weren't truly sympathetic with the rebel cause. That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never shown a rebellious streak. Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past? Not a lot. He's a private person. Has he ever told you that during the July Revolution, Wait, has he ever told you what he did during the July Revolution, before he changed his name?
Before he... No, he hasn't told me anything, really.
Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they called the Viridian Killer. Yeah, we know it's not him, though. Okay, so we need to go just wherever, I guess. The Palais Royal. Just look at that disgusting den of fat cat bourgeois and hypocritical politicians. The king is probably in there as we speak, probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Did you come here just to moan about the king? No, I've come to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There? Right outside the Palais Royal. Of course, it's the perfect place for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace. So you weren't just throwing empty words at the tavern. You actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course, he will never abdicate on his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There's no way to bring change to a country without using violence. Is there? Change without violence. I think there are ways. People look back on the violent moments of history, the execution, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned just through the chance of the people? A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. Maybe. It would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least, until it's clear that violence is inevitable. That's good. That's a good compromise, madame. Am I gonna get us all slaughtered? I don't know. I think we need to be peaceful. Okay, that's the market and then the garden. Okay, so let's go to the market first and then we're gonna go to the garden. Les Halles, huh? Let me guess. You have a weapons supplier somewhere around here. Or maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It is as good a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think that just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't need to buy food? Aw, man, beer more. Well, if it isn't Satan and Gamad, you're growing bigger every time I see you. A tornado warning's about to go off, so give me 1 second while I sound the sirens, and then I'll edit that out. I'll be right back, because it's probably going to be pretty loud. Well, that was fun. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. The, announcement over the, I don't know what it's called, the freaking tower where they made the sirens go off. Yeah, I forgot they do that. Anyways, let's continue on and see what's going to happen in Aviary Attorney. Well, if it isn't Sultan and little Gambad, you're growing bigger every time I see you. Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. A policeman. A nasty, ugly policeman. Let me guess. He was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries. Well, that's how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then, when the rat wasn't speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him. The policeman shot the beggar? Just like that. Yup. But then, the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him. I find this difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause. Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No, this can't be right. Something has to be missing from Satan's story. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, madame? Sure, ask away. Make it quick, Falcon. What did the policeman look like? Well, I didn't get a good look, but he was tall and ugly and mean-looking, and he had one eye. One eye? Yep, he had one of them pirate patches. There's no way. Ring any bells, Falcon? I know of a man who fits the description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he's morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly. Don't let your bias toward the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon. If you think you know who did this, then please, name him and shame him. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain. Do you want to know anything else, monsieur? If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation. Ha! Your naivety knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if one of their own is out of control? Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think it was a policeman. Oh? Go on, madame. Well, he was this charming fox. Renard. A friend of yours, Falcon? Something like that. We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to. Pay him a visit? I suppose we could set aside a little time. Did you want something else? Yeah, who was the rat? Just who was this beggar rat? I didn't really know, well, monsieur. None of us did. He was kind of a loner who hanged around, asking for scraps of food and cents. I don't even know his name. That's so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support? Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are on the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I'm well aware, madame. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why the particular rat was killed. But no, it appears that this was just the loss of another unnamed beggar rat among many. It's tragic. That it is, monsieur. Is there any other way I can help? That is all, madame. Thank you for your help. No problem. Anything to help Madame Beermore. We'll try to get to the bottom of this, Sultan. Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep Gambad safe. Of course, ma'am. You stay safe yourself. You hear? We're gonna go visit him? Yes, let's go visit him. I feel like that's more important than the gardens. Visitors, Monsieur Vulpes, visitors. Really, Falcon? What do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment? Sleazy? Madame, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the accusation of sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Vulpes, this is Madame Beermore, a friend of mine. Madame, this is Renard Vulpes, private investigator at your service. It is a pleasure to meet you, Madame. How stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing questions to ask, Falcon, but before we get started, there's something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier. He informed me of your situation. Sparrowson? Is he alright? Oh yes. He's now working with Inspector Voltaire, attempting to unravel the rebel plot. Just as I thought, it appears that your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon. Perhaps, perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology. But, you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. I got 75, sure. Yeah, I know how this works. Here's your money, monsieur. Very good. So, on to the question. Sparrowson asked if you were the Viridian killer, the one responsible for the random bombings in the July Revolution, 18 years ago. Why on earth would he ask that? Perhaps the inspector has been telling him stories. So, what did you tell him? The truth, of course. That is, I have no idea who the Viridian killer is, but I knew that it couldn't possibly be Falcon. Oh? And how do you know that I'm not the Viridian killer? Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk, bumbling oaf, not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian killer. It's fascinating stuff. Apparently he was seen in multiple places at once, which leads some to believe that he was actually more than one person. Huh. And do you know why they call him, or should I say them, the Viridian killer? Viridian is a greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would be a much cooler name. It appears that no one knows the origin of the name, which leads me to suspect that he, or indeed they, chose their own name. That's all fascinating. Truly fascinating. But can we return to the conversation to why we're here? Of course. Monsieur Vulpes, we heard that you were investigating the murder at Le Hall. I was. That victim was a friend of Mousie's.
More of an acquaintance, really.
Well, we want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads? Any juicy clues? Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Did you hear that the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed, one person, who wears an eye patch. I do. The inspector. But that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Vulpes? Murderous? I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian killer. Who's to say that he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his arch enemy? Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Vulpes. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. It was a pleasure meeting you, madame.
Monsieur Vulpes? That lioness looked pretty angry. Is this revolution gonna end in blood, Monsieur Vulpes? Just like in 1830?
I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. Oh, we still have time to go to the gardens. Awesome. Let me think. So it takes 10 minutes to walk from the Palace de Concorde to this very spot. And the Palais Royal lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having a logistics problem, madame? Perhaps. The plan is to walk the crowd from here through the Tuileries to the Palais Royal. But if we take too long to pass through the Tuileries, the police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered. That is quite an issue. Why do we need to go through the Tuileries though? Is it the quickest way? Why not run? Why not just go around the Tuileries? There's a nice wide main road that leads straight to the palace front door. You can avoid the gardens entirely. Marching across the gardens makes for a better political statement, but I can't fault your reasoning. Going around would diminish our chances of being stopped and trapped. I'll pass the idea along to Pierre and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds after all. That bird-brained parrot will probably just shoot the idea down, right? Probably. But I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you, Falcon. It's no problem, madame. For the Second Republic, right? Right. For the Second Republic. Okay, I think we're doing good. I don't know how this revolution's gonna go, but we're trying to do it without violence. This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering the protesters at Palace de la Concorde. Pierre is making preparations to build and arm a barricade near the Palais Royal. Just as a precaution, you understand. The only question that remains is, are you ready? Nope, not at all. Absolutely. Bring on the revolution, I say. That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how this protest is going. Falcon and Beamore arrive at Palace de la Concorde. The air is thick with chants, shouts, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to the Tuileries. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. But of course, you didn't think that we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city. Everything's in place at the Palais Royal, man. Just say the word and we'll set up the biggest barricade you've ever seen. Then we can call a storm. We can all storm the building and drag the cocky king out of his chair. There's been a change of plan. We're still gonna protest, but we're gonna do it peacefully. No firing behind the barricades. No violence. No capturing the king or prime minister. Madame, are you feeling alright? Quite alright, thank you. But what of your desire for a better France? You cannot achieve that without bloodshed. We can certainly try. Falcon convinced me. Falcon? Pacifism seems like the Christian approach. Wouldn't you say, Friar? I see. So that's how it is. Excuse me, madame. He's gonna go do something. I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy. He probably thinks I've gone soft. And maybe I have. But I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side. Don't worry, ma'am. You aren't alone. We're not here for violence, madame. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you. Ugh. Stupid bullet wound. Things opening up again. What's the news, brother? Is everything in place? We have a problem. The Mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid. Turned timid? How? It appears that the lawyer, Falcon, is something of a lion tamer. J.J. Falcon? That bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster. I swear. Brother, listen. If there's no violence, then there will be no power gap. One leader will just peacefully replace the other. We need chaos for our plan to work. Guess we'll have to follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim. You find the suspect. What? Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured. Look at those scum. Foul vermin. A lot of them. Mark my words, Sparrowson. Every one of those petulant dissenters will take first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence.
They don't look too violent to me.
Trust me, this is how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazed individual, and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Hey, it's you!
Friar, it's good to see you again. No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You're needed urgently on the Place de la Concorde. Me? Why not ask one of the officers on active duty? There's no time to explain. Any minute now. Do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun. Come on, Inspector. We must make haste.
Inspector, I really don't think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Friar Remus has provided me with valuable information in the past. I trust his judgment.
But, Inspector...
This isn't up for discussion, Sparrowson. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
But... What should I do now?
A gunshot. It was nearby, too. So the friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability. We haven't reached that stage yet, madame. I can't afford to take chances. Not now. Piero, march the crowd to the Palais Royal and construct the barricade. Yes, ma'am. Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance. It came from here, Inspector. Hurry! Hurry! I'm moving as fast as these old legs will... Mon Dieu! A body! This woman must have been the target of the gunshot we just heard, but I don't see a shooter. I think the gunshot came from over here. Inspector? Falcon. Well, well. I should have known that the Viridian killer would have a part in this. Inspector, I'm not... Ugh. What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl. Madame, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. This poor innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police line with her hands in the air, when all of a sudden, this brute of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart. What is this nonsense? What are you prattling on about, Friar? Thank you for your input, Remus. It hardly surprises me that a member of the police will be the one to first cast a stone. I think we're all being a little rash. Let's take a breath, examine the situation, and... Wait a moment. You are an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector. How observant. Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the rat at Les Halles too? Les Halles? What are you talking about? 2 incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim. There's no way that is a coincidence. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in oppressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector? I really shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions. But open your eyes, mademoiselle. I'm not the assailant here. Don't call me mademoiselle. Or stupid, for that matter. Your guilt is plain to see. Given the circumstances, I had to judge you and execute you right here and now. Okay, look. I know you're trying to be, like, justified and stuff, but this is exactly what you did with Kokoriko. Now, granted, I failed to prove Kokoriko's innocence, so I guess it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? Never mind. Go on and do your thing. I wasn't able to prove that in this timeline. World line. Whatever it is. Falcon, don't just stand there gawking. Vouch for me. Madame, I know this man. His name is Inspector Vulpes. He's a ruthlessly law-abiding, so much so that I can't envision him shooting a man without just cause. Oh, shut up, Falcon. I'm done with your idealism. I listened to you. I took your words to heart about avoiding violence, and now a girl is dead. Well, I'm done taking chances. Ramus, help me escort this invalid to Piero's barricade. I'll decide his fate there. With pleasure, madame. Come along, Inspector. Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Meet us at the barricade when you're done. What do you mean, deal with it? What are we supposed to do, eat it? There's no way this was to work at the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot? This far away from the police line? It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's rebellions for you. They're messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire, and there's no reason for it. Well, there's no use dawdling. Help me get the corpse off the streets. Not yet. I'm gonna examine the body first. Examine the body? We agreed that this wasn't the work of Inspector Vulpes, right? Then, there might be some clues on the corpse that point towards what happened. An impromptu coroner's examination, eh? Fine, you have 2 minutes. After that, we're heading to the barricade, whether you're done or not. 2 minutes? Handprint. What's this mark? It almost looks like a handprint, made in blood. Probably the Mademoiselle's. I don't think so. The handprint of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder. There's no way a person could comfortably reach that spot on their own back. I suppose so. But if the handprint doesn't belong to the girl, then who does it belong to? The murderer. It has to be. The question on my mind is why is the handprint made in blood? Did the murderer sully their hand on the girl's gunshot wound? Or were they injured prior to the shooting? There's so much to uncover here, and no time for a thorough investigation. Oh, this sucks. Okay, don't really need to know about the face. The gunshot. This is a bullet wound, right? What can you tell me about it, Fontaine? Well, it looks like a bullet went fairly straight angle of entry through the Mademoiselle's back. The shooter's probably standing right behind the victim. What's the bullet size? Do you know its caliber? Let me guess. You're hoping the caliber of the bullet's different from the caliber of the inspector's gun. That would conveniently get the one-eyed officer off the hook, wouldn't it? But I'm afraid I can't help you. I can't possibly know a bullet's caliber without having a good look at the bullet itself. And as you can plainly see, the bullet is 3 centimeters deep in flesh. So, you need to see the bullet itself. Let's do it. Help me retrieve the bullet, Fontaine. Retrieve? You mean dig it out? I assume you have a little more experience in this area than I do. Well, you're not wrong there. Fine. This will only take a moment. Here you go. One used bullet. Looks like a standard lead rifle or pistol ball, but I'm afraid I can't tell you its caliber. Why's that? The bullet fragmented upon impact, monsieur. I gathered all the pieces, but I cannot assess its diameter with any accuracy. Still, if I would guess, it was 13 to 17 millimeters. Sorry I can't be more specific. That's an enormous help. Thank you, monsieur. Okay, what else? Her hand? Okay, I don't think we need the face. It's a long shot. But maybe this girl is faking her injury. Just for the sake of thoroughness, I had to check for a pulse. Right. No, nothing. Everyone's been so fixated on who did this and nobody stopped to ask who this girl was. I don't know, monsieur. Given her clothes, she's probably just another working girl. Just another? I didn't mean it to sound glib, but it's true. This is one mademoiselle among the thousands who live in Paris. Who was she? Where did she work? Will her family miss her? I don't know. But in the long run, I don't think anybody will care. I care. I can't afford not to. I don't know who this Mademoiselle was, but I'm gonna see to it that justice is brought about for her death. I think that's it. Okay. I was afraid I was gonna use up my 2 minutes, but I don't see anything else, so... I'm done here. Very good. Let's get this body off the street. Then, we must hurry to the Palais Royal. Rest in peace, Mademoiselle. I'll see to it that justice is done. Everything's going just as planned. The Madame's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the Palais Royal, and the Prime Minister will flee, and then... Excuse me, monsieur. What do you want? I'm busy. Don't you recognize me, monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little more complex than yours, but I assumed you would recognize Prince Juan when you saw him. You're... Prince Juan? Indeed, and you're Judge Romulus, the corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king. You shot the croque monsieur, and just moments ago, I saw you murder a maiden at the Palace de la Concorde. You truly are a vile individual, aren't you? Yeah. So if you have any proof for that stuff, I'm out of here. I also know that you're one half of the Viridian Killer. On any other day, I would gut you where you stand, Fox. But as it happens, I'm a little busy today. Oh? The Viridian Killer's too busy to kill me. Is that the truth, or is that bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood.
What do I do? What do I do? Oh, hello, Monsieur Vulpes.
Ha! Monsieur Sparrowson. Perfect timing. Who now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh? Monsieur Sparrowson, be a dear and help me restrain the Viridian Killer.
This guy? He's the Viridian Killer? He looks more like Judge Romulus to me.
Well, you would be right about that too.
Wow, so he's two scumbags in one. Alright then. Ow, mind the wound. Quit your whining, Your Honor.
Very nice takedown, Monsieur Sparrowson. You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He is something of a notorious killer, after all.
Of course. Let's see what we've got here. Aha! Here we are.
A pistol. Probably the one used to kill the maiden, I suspect. What else can you find, Monsieur Sparrowson?
This... an eye patch? Weird. What would a wolf want with an eye patch?
Oh no. This is bad. Very bad indeed.
I don't get it. What's wrong with an eye patch?
There's no time to explain. Mousy!
What is it, Monsieur Vulpes? What is it?
Take this eye patch to JJ Falcons. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere near the Palais Royal right now. Tell him that this belongs to Ramus's brother. Hurry now.
Right away, Monsieur Vulpes. Right away.
I must go too. I need to find the other half of the Viridian Killer pair before something terrible happens.
Wait, Monsieur Vulpes, what am I supposed to do with this guy?
You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your reward for capturing Judge Romulus. Ooh, get us some money.
What a strange day.
It really is. Outside the Palais Royal, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of furniture, branches, rocks, and anything else that they can find. From behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and royal guards with chants. I'm growing impatient, pig. Confess your crimes. I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel. You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see that each and every one of you is hanged for your flagrant disregard of the law. Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen at Les Halles. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar has testified to seeing you murder a girl. Again, completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence. But it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know that you're a killer. Madame Beermort, stop! The inspector didn't shoot that mademoiselle. Keep your beak closed, Falcon. I'm done listening to your suggestions. This policeman is as guilty as every other monster in our decrepit justice system. It's my duty to execute him. Madame, Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend that you hear him out. Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I can convince you on this inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious at a time like this. I can't afford it. What if you're wrong? Are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madame. Having my life saved by the Viridian killer. How humiliating. Quiet pig. Your life is mine until I say otherwise. Okay, so first of all, let's recap what Friar Remus had to say. Wait, where's the friar? He's a key witness to the crime. He scarpered as soon as he dropped the inspector off. Said he had some business to attend to. Business? Oh man, these barricades are looking pretty scary. But I mustn't fear, for I am a brave duck. I am the great officer Beck. Handsome, intelligent, and strong. Truly fearless hero who will be remembered for... Hello, officer. Ah! You scared me, monsieur. Monk? Friar, actually. Friar Remus. Listen, officer. I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp and I overheard a conversation. Huh? That sounds good. Do go on. They said they're going to launch an assault very soon. And when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on the palace. Oh no, it's just as I feared. What'll we do? It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Hit them with everything you've got. Every cannon, every rifle, every piece of artillery. Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. That is the only way you can be sure to survive. Huh, total annihilation. I like it. But Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian? Yes, so what? I don't know. It's just that your idea doesn't seem very Christian-y. Oh, I hate the evidence thing. I see. You think this is a moral issue. Let me tell you a secret, my dearest duck friend. There is no God. No overarching morality or higher plan. No heaven to save the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. There's only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on Peking duck tonight. Understand? That's an awful lot to take in. Then let me simplify. It's you or them. It's me or them. Forget about the friar, Falcon. We all remember what he had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall. Okay? I will. But you may want to wipe that mouse off of your shoulder first. Sorry, wipe what? Oh, it's you, Mousy.
Monsieur Falcon, Monsieur Falcon. Special delivery from Renard Vulpes.
Thank you, Mousy. What is this?
An eye patch. It was found in Remus's brother's clothing.
Remus's brother's... This is an eye patch belonging to Judge Romulus. That's interesting. Where is Romulus?
There's no time, monsieur. Just take it. Take it. I have to run, monsieur, but you have to do your best. Monsieur Vulpes and Sparrowson believe in you.
Sparrowson? You've seen Sparrowson. How is he?
There's no time, monsieur. Good luck.
Are you quite done, Falcon? Very much so. Let's begin this trial. Okay, let's remember what the friar said. Okay. Mademoiselle, police line. All of a sudden, Inspector yelled, "Get back, you rebel!" Drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through the chest. I think that's through the back. We don't have anything that's really the back, though. Oh god, I hope I don't mess this up. The friar said the girl was approaching the police line at the time of the shooting. Now, as I recall, the main police line was at the entrance to the Tuileries in the Palace de la Concorde. That's around where we were waiting. But this incident didn't occur there. It was a good 50, maybe 100 meters away. So what? So what? It's a severe discrepancy in the friar's account of the events. Maybe there was a police line there, but it moved. Maybe the friar was mistaken, and it was just a single officer. Does it really matter? Does it matter? I don't think it does. It doesn't change the fact that he shot her. Okay. I suppose not. I just wanted to clarify the fact. Not about the police line. Okay. Friar Remus claimed that the girl was shot point blank in the chest. The girl was clearly shot in the back. I know. I remember seeing the bullet wound for myself. But that's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony. It is an inaccuracy, but an irrelevant inaccuracy. Does it really matter if the girl was shot in the front or back? Either way, she died at this pig's hands. Oh, it matters. It does matter. If the girl were shot from the front, then this might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if we were shot in the back, then what? This would indicate that someone targeted and assassinated her before she could even react. That doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon. Madame, you're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the currently established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthy, professional attack. Therefore, this was not an ordinary police confrontation. You've made an assumption, Falcon. You've assumed that because the girl was shot in the back, she must have been stealthily killed. But there are other possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared by the police, started running away, and was shot in the back as she fled. That scenario isn't possible. If the girl were running away, then she would have been at least a couple steps away from the killer from the time of the shooting, right? Right. But I know the killer was standing right behind the victim. They were less than 1 meter away when the gun was fired. They were standing that close? How could you possibly know that, Falcon? Is it the bullet? Or the handprint? I saw a bloody handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madame? Well, I assume any bloodstain would belong to the victim. A mark made with the girl's dying breath, perhaps. No. It was a print of the left hand on the girl's left shoulder, near the upper back. The angle and positioning of the print indicated that it could only have been caused by another person. That's why I'm so certain the killer was right behind the girl at the time of the attack. I see. That's quite a theory. But Falcon, you left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood, yes? So it can't possibly have been made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hand on the girl's clothing after she already died. And if that's the case, my suggested scenario is still possible. The girl may have been running from the police when she was shot. No. I'm still... Wait, we don't have the details? But I know the print was made prior to the shooting. Maybe the shooter was injured and his hand was covered in blood. You talked big about breaking the established Wait, did I not? What? Did I not get enough evidence? Well, where do we go from here? How does the handprint nonsense really affect the situation? Do you find something funny about the situation, Inspector? I do. This whole trial is patently absurd. It's an animal court through and through. But there's something particularly funny about the last exchange. You were both so focused on how and when the handprint was made that you missed the larger issue. I don't have a left hand, you idiots! I couldn't possibly have left the mark. Oh, right. Of course. Well, madame, what do you say to that? Maybe the handprint came from an accomplice. Or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident. Or it feels good to see someone else speculating wildly for a change. Okay, fine. I don't have a solid explanation. I must concede that's possible, maybe even likely, that the person who left that mark was the murderer. Therefore, as much as it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot this girl. So that's it. The inspector is off the hook. No. There's still the matter of the incident at La Hall. What incident is this? I know nothing about it. As if you don't know. A beggar rat was shot and killed in La Hall a few days ago. The attacker was described as a scowling police officer who wore an eye patch. Sound familiar to you? Go on, Falcon. Explain the pig out of this one. Until 5 minutes ago, I was at a loss. But I was recently presented with a piece of evidence that makes the answer all too clear. This was a false flag operation. False flag? Explain yourself, Falcon. Madame, what do you think about Remus's twin brother, the man known as Romulus? Not much. On the day he was forced to flee the country by a repressive government around a month ago. That's a half-truth, madame. See, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police, but I have the suspicion that the wolf is lurking in Paris itself, although I never managed to find definitive proof of this. Anyway, it turns out my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended, I think. You think? I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus's person just moments ago. Eye patch. Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There's only one possible explanation. It is the part of a disguise, something to conceal his identity and make him appear as someone else. A disguise? You're saying that Romulus shot the beggar rat just to frame the police inspector. Exactly, madame. It's no coincidence that Friar Ramus happened to find the very same inspector just as another murder occurred today. So, Ramus was in on it too. Two wolves working together to make the policeman look like a murderer. But why? Why would they do that? To rile you up, madame. To make you lust for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I would say they succeeded. I've been so stupid. How did I let myself get misled by a couple of wolves? This trial is over. Go, Inspector. You're free. It's about time. You're letting him walk, ma'am? Of course. It would be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary, even if the man is a bitter, stubborn pig. Falcon! Yes? I don't understand you. You're stupid. You're reckless. But you fought Beacon Talon for my freedom. I'm starting to suspect that you aren't really the Viridian killer at all. It certainly took a long time to pass that through your thick skull. Inspector, if you're still hunting that villain, maybe you should speak with Renard Vulpes when this is all over, I hear he's been doing some research into the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something. Maybe I will. Madame, it appears that your gang of rebel filth don't intend on assaulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay that information to the artillerymen. Maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff going until this blows over. Thank you. I appreciate that. All of you, stay out of trouble. So, what happens now, ma'am? We're going to continue our protest. Peacefully. We're going to stand here, shouting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step out of sheer humiliation. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one more person being harmed, then... Well. Look who returned. Madame, I just saw the police inspector strolling out of here, unharmed. Why did you let him go? It's simple, Ramus. We all had a discussion. Don't shoot him. And we came to the conclusion that I had been misled by a couple of wolves. Oh? How many lies have you fed me, Friar? Just how much damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in the hall? Did you watch the girl die by the Palace de la Concorde? Now that I think about it, even the Croque Monsieur's death was surrounded by details that made little sense. I don't know what to think anymore. You know this guy's a scumbag at least, man. I say shoot him. Pierrot's right. We won't judge you for killing this man, madame. It's the less I deserve for my sins. Go ahead, madame. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Do it. Don't do it, don't do it. Falcon, you're proving yourself as having clear judgment. What do you say? If we shoot him, then there's going to be a freaking massacre. We have to let him live. Madame, you know what the right thing to do is. Show us what kind of leader you wish to be. You're right. I said that this will be a bloodless revolution, and I can't make any exceptions. Not even for a monster like this wolf. Wow. This is amazing. Completely unprecedented. You've buckled all of my expectations, avoided every temptation, and opted for an option that shouldn't even exist. Well done, madame. Well done, Falcon. You've demonstrated you have the power of pacifism in its purest form. But unfortunately for both of you... Oh, he's gonna... I'm no pacifist. Everyone, get down! God dang it. Did he kill himself? Suicide. Shooting himself in the head? What a loony. Hardly surprised that the wolf would be too cowardly to face a real punishment. This isn't right. It's not the solution I wanted either, Falcon, but I can't say I'll mourn the friar's death. No, that's not what I meant. I meant it doesn't make sense for him to kill himself so abruptly. And that comment of his, it was almost like, I think we need to get out of here. All of us, right now. Falcon, what are you talking about? Ah, that was a gunshot. Really close to... I can't afford to hesitate. It's me or them. Hold off your fire. No way. I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them. It's me or them. Fire every cannon. Oh, I hope they got out of there in time, but I doubt it. Yeah. Oh, no. This is bad. This is so bad. Can anyone hear me? Pierrot, Fontaine, hello? Anyone? I'm here, madame. Falcon? Of all the people. I think I made a mistake, Falcon. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I lost my temper over seeing that dead girl? Or was it earlier when I shot that prosecutor? Or was it earlier still when I first listened to that monstrous friar in the first place? I've made a lot of mistakes. We've all made mistakes, madame. Most people's mistakes don't spark bloody revolutions. Can you move, madame? I don't think so. Give me a minute. I think I can clear some of this rubble. A new day? What the heck? Dear Monsieur Vulpes. Is this... I guess this is Sparrowson writing it. I'm writing to you from the Demiao Railway Express. Modern technology is truly amazing. I've decided to take your advice, and I've gone on vacation until things settle down. The king fleeing to Britain? The Second Republic taking over? It's all crazy stuff. Anyway, before I left, you asked me if I knew what happened to Falcon. Well, I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says Falcon died during the attack on the barricade. But it also says the police didn't find a body, same as Leon Bilmore. Weird, huh? Rumor is that he was probably blown away from cannon fire, but that doesn't sound right to me. The Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive. I think he found a way to escape and survive. So in my opinion, he's still out there. It's possible, isn't it? Anyway, I should wrap this letter up because I'm about to reach my stop, Vienna. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle Singe's parents are doing. Maybe you should come pay a visit sometime. Send my regards to Mousy. Yours sincerely, Sparrowson. P.S. I'm a person selling myth something? What is it? I have no idea. P.P.S. Delicious. That's what. Oh, Sparrowson. Okay, so we did it. We did it. I guess it's really up to you to determine what the quote-unquote true ending of the game was, but we are finally done. It was actually very cool. I'm glad that the game is done and over. You've reached the end of... Okay, yep. Yes, I know. Okay, thank you for playing. Okay, so we are done with this game. It was absolutely fantastic. There are some gameplay choices that as a player were a little bit frustrating for me. The fact that I didn't have the evidence I needed to win in courtroom cases. I do feel like there's actually only like 3 cases, and then the 4th one is just kind of like an ending thing. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that there is a select group of people working very passionately for this game to make it a reality. The art style, you know, creating a story, making everything work is a ton of... It's a ton of passion, a ton of effort, and I think they did a good job. Now that the game is completely finished, I think that you guys will enjoy it as well, but there are still some other things that you can do, some odds and ends that I did not see through, like if I properly protected the second case, or if I did the first case differently, things like that. But I feel like this is a good stopping point for the series, so I'm going to leave it here. If you guys did enjoy it, please support the developers, send them your kind words and let them know what you thought about it. But for us, this is the end of Aviary Attorney, or at least until they make a sequel, which I hope they do. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's play. Do you take checks? Very funny. And no, I don't take pocket lint either. It's cold, hard Napoleon's only. Well. Saint Merd, it's the fuzz. Jesus. Wait, Monsieur, Croc Monsieur, come back.
Never fear, Falcon. I'll tell the dastardly fellow.
Don't get too close, Sparrowson. That crocodile's got a gun. Oh, what's with all this ruckus? Playing cops and robbers, are we, JJ? Are you blind, Severin? That was the Croc Monsieur.